What's up, y'all? I'm Mikhail.
I'm Megan.
I'm Freq.
And welcome back to another episode of Millennial Talk Podcast, where I can't believe we're the new millennials, but you know we got y'all millennials. We're going to get through this. But what's been going on, y'all? What's been up?
There we go. Always suspenseful. Always suspenseful.
Good. I'm trying to think about what I did this week. I went to school. I mean, it's the same thing every week for me. I got 2 more weeks. School and work.
Yeah, we counting down them weeks.
Yeah, thank God.
No, I ain't been doing nothing either. It's been similar, but I mean, it's just good to check in the mental capacities and stuff like that. But no, I ain't been doing shit, y'all, for real.
I just been moving around, typical, just moving around the city. I'm always into something. Just been chilling. Caught a flat. That was unfortunate. So I got that changed. There was nothing to it, but that's just been life. That's been life.
Yeah,
one thing God told me this week, though.
Period. Let's get into
Shut my mouth and protect my peace.
And then you're on the podcast.
And when I listen.
Very true. On the podcast.
Very true.
That's something.
And when I listen, I've been peaceful. Sometimes, people want to just put all that weight on you.
Yeah.
And it's like, you gotta learn how to protect your peace.
Very true.
So that's been my week, too. Protecting my peace.
No, I can second that because it is time for me to shut up.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to shut up.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need to shut up.
All right, y'all. We're going to move into trend of the week. So the trend of the week this week is, I know it's been going viral on TikTok and, whatever. But B.Simone, friendship, and being broke controversy. So as y'all know, B.Simone she had an original podcast. I forgot the name of it just that quick.
The one she's doing now?
No, the original one with Maegan.
Oh, no. It's something with no. No for sure. The No For Sure podcast.
So when she had that podcast, she fell out with Maegan. That was her co-host and her friend for a long period of time, whatever. But now she started a new podcast that basically this episode was her talking about that she's basically broke and that she found out basically by going to Bloomingdale's and was like, oh, I'm on a budget and now I need to go to H&M. So it was a lot of controversy around that. Like, why do we care about your finances? Why do we care about what you're going through? Because it's not really, who cares about you being broke, basically? And then you have a track record of losing friends.
Okay, so did y'all watch the whole episode?
I'm gonna be honest. I seen the clip on TikTok, and it was like a running thing, and now they even turned it to a meme.
Yeah.
Okay, so I took it upon myself because at first I was, B.Simone been so controversial over these last few years. I took it upon myself to watch it because I actually do sometimes watch the podcast, certain episodes.
Mm-hmm.
From someone being deep into my religion and my faith, I do kind of feel like some of the stuff she does, and with her having a dad who is a pastor, I feel like some of the stuff she does is kind of like, okay, girl,
you should know better.
Yeah, you should know better.
Yeah.
And then I do feel like with her fallout with Maegan, it was, they won't come out and say it exactly.
Yeah, they won't.
But I do feel like it has to do with where Maegan was at on a spiritual level versus where she wanted to be.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? Because in her content now is her religion, culture versus kingdom and everything like that. But getting to the point, I watched it. I was listening to it on the way over here. People took that so out of context. So she's building an app, and I did not want to agree. I'm gonna be real with you. I didn't want to agree with it. Not that I dislike B.Simone. It's just, like I said, a lot of stuff I feel is kind of not gimmicky, but
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, it come off like unreal, not genuine. But listening to it, she's building an app.
Okay.
And if y'all know, like, building an app from scratch is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So she's saying that she just doesn't have that free money to just go in Bloomingdale's and splurge because she's investing in her own app. She didn't get investors. So, okay, I get it. You got to go to H&M. Yeah, you got to go to H&M. But I don't think she was bashing H&M. If you, think about it, she is a celebrity. How many celebrities
go to H&M
that often? You know what I'm saying? And opposed to Nordstrom, Neiman's, Bloomingdale's. You know what I'm saying? So that was one thing that kind of changed my mind about it. And then with the whole friendship controversy, her friend Shekinah, which they've been friends for a long time too, she said that she's going through like this whole spiritual thing. She's fasting and everything like that. But one of her red flags right now in this season is that she's so inert. Like she's in herself and selfish. Her selfish season.
Yeah.
So when she got to speaking about and then, which I believe is one of the topics we're gonna talk about today, she was saying supporting a friend through their changes, supporting a friend through their transitions.
Exactly.
She's transitioning right now on a spiritual level. And she's like, I've seen you do for people who you don't even talk to anymore. I've seen you do for people who never had your best interests at heart. So then when she got to talk about all the stuff that she went through, like having to move back home, single mom, all this other stuff, she was like, a part of her was like, dang, where were you at for me when I see you do X, Y, and Z for people?
Other people.
She said, and B.Simone, I don't pay for people divorces and stuff like that. And it was just like, but I'm sitting here struggling. But she was like, you have to check yourself as a friend and realize that. So I urge everybody to watch the whole video if you're interested, because it does give a different perspective than a few clips that's been circulating around social media.
Yeah, because
from what y'all seen, what do y'all feel?
I mean, personally, after like knowing the whole, like I said, the prior podcast to the new podcast and her falling out, because now it's going around that she fell out with Pretty V, and you know that was her rock.
I don't think she did though.
But Pretty V, not to make it like too deep into it, but
I don't know any of these people.
So, but Pretty V went on and she was talking about basically the whole broke thing that was going viral with, you know, B.Simone. In my mind, like you said, some things can be gimmicky and they can be doing this because that's what influencers do. They always do shit just to bring it back up. But to get back to the point, I just feel like things are gimmicky. I don't not like B.Simone, but I agree with you. I feel like some things she do is very gimmicky, especially when you integrating religion into it. It's kind of like you gotta be careful with that.
Yeah.
But what you think, Jalen?
How many minutes were you into the pod?
Oh,
a long time.
Okay. I think she full of shit. I think the whole thing, at least from what I seen, like the best friend conversation, the bullying, all that ancient shit, because it's like, at least when I seen her in past shit and just what she say, she has a pattern of a particular thought process. Yes. So like, I don't really give a fuck what journey or whatever the fuck she on, because I see the footprints in the sand that you left. And I think a lot of people want to excuse that shit. It's a lot of different like ways to wiggle out that she was kind of explaining, at least in the clips I seen. She was like, and I called you and I felt so convicted to do this and all that other bullshit. Like, I don't want to hear none of that shit. Like, you grown as hell, figure that shit out. I was able to hear like extended conversations because like I watched Joe Budden, so like they even talked about it, had like other clips that I hadn't seen. So to hear her also speak further about different type of different things, I don't really have no sympathy for nothing. They were saying she had like scammy, shiesty, like past history and stuff like that. So that I didn't know nothing about the app.
Plagiarism, and then telling everybody she was on a weight loss journey, but she was taking Ozempic.
Yeah, just all types of stuff. And it's like, for me,
these y'all influencers.
Yeah, you feel me? And then
is this your king?
What she just said? She said she got an app. It's like that add to the scam and stuff. It's like, so the app to me don't add no credence to like what you doing. It just made me look at you even worse. Like, and then you crying about H&M and this and that. Like, what? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like people, they were just showing how people's buying fake stuff. So it's like, it don't shock me that you're going into H&M, and it just kind of further speak to that. You just creating more steps in the sand and trying to make it seem like you at this crossroads and you're deviating to be a better person. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's really all I got to say. And it don't surprise me. She ain't alone. I see it happening again.
And again.
You know, and again. Like, it don't surprise me. That's it.
Well, y'all, like Megan said, y'all check out the video and tell us in the comments what y'all think.
If you want to.
Yeah, because it might not be
you got
time. That's what I said. If you want to, you know, check the video out.
Touch the grass first.
Like,
Lord.
Be a good friend.
Well, speaking of being a good friend, that brings us to our first topic.
That's what I said. It just really goes into the topic.
So navigating friendships. And maybe you already touched on like one main piece of it too. Like when y'all have challenges, like how do y'all navigate challenges with your friends? So whether that be like maybe y'all, we can give a few different scenarios on this topic. So maybe I'm trying to think of like a good challenge that you friends go through without like just growing apart, but like maybe it's a accountability thing. Like somebody's not taking
I could do
accountability.
one easier than that. Let me ask a better question first before I give an example. Is it how do I or how should I?
No, I feel like
No, how do you?
Yeah,
Like, let's be real.
I
How do
do
you?
shit very wrong, and I know that I do things
oh
wrong,
shit.
but
Well,
it's something I'm working through. But like the easiest example for most people is when somebody had kids or somebody get married, right?
Yeah.
Because you, and I think I touched on this in previous episodes, but like you want that for your friend. Like
Exactly.
ultimately you do, if that's what their goal is in life. But that also come with the acknowledgement that the promises they made or that y'all made at particular ages can no longer be held true because of that greater responsibility.
Exactly.
And like I said, I would hold it more against you to want to honor whatever promise you made to me at 17 than to your child and your wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna respect you and create better bonds with that more when you doing what what you set out to do. And like however I did or didn't help you get there, I'm happy for you. And that's how I always look at those type of situations where I think it's not so trivial. Like we went to the club or we went here and that. Like not all that trivial shit. It's like just general tracks of life. You know what I'm saying? People going to school.
Yeah.
We can all relate to even what that was like when people didn't go to school and like
we went to school.
Exactly. And you were close to somebody and what that looked like. You know what I'm saying? And either you had that uncomfortable conversation like, yo, we in different places, or hey, to make this work, bro, you gotta respect that I got an exam tomorrow. I got 4 exams next week. I'm doing this. Like,
I gotta be ducked off.
Yeah, I gotta be ducked off. Or like, I'm not about to answer the call. There's like, yo, I got 15 people I'm cool with up here that's like next door, and you all the way down there. And so it's just like them real conversations, and that's it.
I feel like piggybacking off of that, I also want to touch on like the communication styles of different people too, because that serves a real thing. Like if you're avoidant, you have an avoidant personality and you don't like to bring things head on, that can be an issue. Like people have to learn how to take accountability. Being able to know that y'all have personality differences and work through that, because I mean a friendship is a relationship too. And I feel like people always look at it as if like it doesn't hold that same like I guess importance like a love interest or
it don't.
No,
I was just about to say.
No, I mean like in the fact of like taking it serious. Like you have to still you still have to put effort into your friendship.
You do, but you should take it as serious as your romantic. Like they shouldn't be on par.
No, but I mean like in the sense of like putting in effort in general.
Pouring into
your friend, because you're
not
just
the same way, but
you still have to put effort into a relationship in general. That's what I'm saying.
You put in a relationship, because a lot of people look at it like, okay, like we've been friends for so long,
right?
And then boom, you get married, and then you don't pour into the friendship anymore.
Yeah, you just
know what I'm saying?
duck off and go with
all of your
partner.
time and all of your effort is now into this romantic relationship.
If we take it to a marriage level, like what she said,
that would be my $1 million question though.
Why what?
Because this person's partner, whatever they're pouring into each other, like how we was just saying seasons and all this other stuff, like whatever they're doing, it might be what that is for that temporary time frame. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, the friendship is not predicated off of this constant interaction, right?
Well,
that's
what we're saying. We're saying the same thing.
Well, like when I'm hearing pour into, like, yeah, bro, I don't have to interact or talk with you for 6 months. However, let's say month 7, day 1, it should feel like or be like the same way when I called you 6 months prior. Like that's my thing.
But
like,
it may not be like
and that's cool, and that's a different conversation.
That's literally what I'm saying. It's like if you, and I feel like you brought up a really good point. If you have 2 relationships where y'all both are married and y'all choose to, like, I mean, most married people hang around each other. That's something that does happen.
What you mean? I was confused. What you mean, like?
Well, no, you brought up the marriage point, so I thought that was actually a good point. Like if like me and you was married, we had spouses or whatever, we hang around each other because that's normally what married couples do. You like to be around other married couples. So putting that into play and us being, millennials and stuff like that, you still have to pour into y'all individual friendships too. So like me and you've been friends for years. I'm not just gonna, like you said, duck off for 6 months. That could be an issue. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
if you are going through something in life, I would think as a friend that you would, tell me as an example.
Yeah.
I understand that, we may not talk all the time or whatever, but that's what I'm talking about. At least put the effort into like just checking on your friend or whatever that looks like for y'all relationship.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you got to be
I was
how we
saying
used to be
it was
before we got married.
I was saying the comparison to like the romantic shit. Like that's where I was like getting caught up in it.
I was just saying
that's why I was
in general,
like
it's a general relationship. You still have to put effort into any type of relationship. That's what I was saying.
Right, and that's why I was like, I think that's why I was kind of bumping heads at it, because like my romantic relationship is not a general relationship. Like you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, and that's why I'm like, no, that effort, even whatever the effort, like the same amount, like it's gonna be some point where that just shifts. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm never,
it's gonna be a natural shift. You're gonna choose your partner over it. That's what you're supposed to do.
Like I can see like maybe like even like a family member maybe, and like this friendship or whatever, like how you like pouring into them relationship is more equivocal to me. Like
no, it's different.
See, to me that's more equivocal. Like me and my romantic.
You could choose your family. Your friends can turn into your family. You choose that sometimes.
I mean
that's how people look.
That's the caveat, but just in the realistic shit, like my cousin and this nigga I'm into high school, like these are separate people, but like they can mean equal to me, but it's just what it is. But it's like pouring into them two different relationships is more equivocal and more make our alignment with me than your romantic one. Like I don't think the whole mindset should be that they even on the same part. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't want like for Maegan and she develop a relationship with a dude as it's developing. I don't expect it to stop at the Jalen Deontay floor or whatever, and then he, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna keep exceeding past that because of what they're developing. So what she's pouring into it, the amount she might be pouring, is not even in the same really jar to me. Like you're not even pouring from the same jar.
Yeah, I think it's just a general.
Y'all are literally saying the exact.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm just trying to understand. That's why I was asking.
That's what I'm saying. Like
it's
y'all
the same
saying the same thing. I just feel like it's the wordplay.
That's why I was like,
it's messing up with you. My thoughts on, so we just talking about like relationship aspect.
Navigating friendships and any aspect, challenges, growing apart.
So for women,
that's a good segue.
So for women, because I'm the only friend, I got one. Well, she's my cousin, but my friend group that I'm with consistently. Oh no, it's one. My friend group that I'm with consistently is only two of us without children.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But before I met my friend Moira, it started to become I was the only one
with no kids.
Gotcha. So then I had to navigate in a way of, and I love children. Like I was the only one out of my friend group that wanted kids and marriage.
Oh.
But
damn, everybody
so
else.
I had to navigate in a way of, okay, I can call you, we can hang out, to, okay, I have to pick a place for us to eat that the kids may have to be able to come to because you may not be able to find a babysitter.
Got you.
Being
inclusive.
Yeah, being inclusive to everybody and thinking about their situation. And I feel like that's where it gets tricky for a lot of people who never had to deal with that until, let's say, like their best friend gets married or their best friend has a child.
Right.
Now it's like, well, you were really the only person I leaned on, and now I'm at home bored because I didn't pour into these other friendships. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like you have the kid, you're performing as a mother, a spouse, or a partner. You're performing as trying to find yourself too. Like, when do you get your friend? Like, when do you come cater to me? And I feel like that's what a lot of people have gone through. For me, how I navigated it was just saying, like, I took a step back from it to realize their entire situation, and I learned how to involve myself in their new life because I wanted to continue to be their friend, their sister, their god sister, or whatever.
That makes sense. Because it is a balance.
Yeah, you really do. You really have to balance because it's really it's a big transition.
Yeah, because like we touched on a little bit earlier, like with the marriage aspect, that changes your friendship dramatically. Especially, again, if you're not married, naturally you want to be around other married people because you learn, especially seasoned relationships, seasoned marriages. But I also, to touch on your point too about growing apart, it don't have to be dramatic, y'all. Like, just
it depends on the situation, but I agree.
I'm gonna say for me, I don't want nothing to be dramatic because at the end of the day, I still have genuine love for the people that used to be my friends or used to be in my life for the most part because the ones that I guess quote unquote did something wrong was like when we were younger, like teenagers. It's like that shit don't even really matter no more. But as adults, in this season, it's like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. We don't really need to have a discussion unless it's like you said. It could be something really off the wall. But just learn how to have like those real conversations if y'all have them. Some people just avoid,
disappear.
Yeah.
No final thought.
In closing, I mean, I guess for me, it's just assessing the situation. Like, really, a lot of people, to me, nowadays, put too much weight on the friend thing, and I think that's because motherfuckers is lonely a lot of times nowadays. Like we always say, touch some grass. Like, a lot of people don't touch grass. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't get out the house. A lot of people feel confined to their situation. And so then that whole friend thing is hard to acknowledge because people don't communicate when you shift on the totem pole either.
Yep.
So then a lot of people just notice like this person's doing less or less things are going on suddenly.
Right.
And it's just the reality of growing up. And so it's like you have to acknowledge if you getting left behind and becoming an adult. Like that's just what it is. Like,
but how do you even find that out that the totem pole is shifting? Because that doesn't always
it's
look
being
the
an
same
adult
for everybody.
But it's being an adult. Like,
is
bro,
that more of like a self-aware thing? Like,
yeah, like you have to be self-aware. Like if somebody is having a child and like you kind of being selfish in your own way. If my friend go have a kid and I really want their best interest and for them to be the best parent or whatever, I wouldn't want you to come hang out at the bar or something with me or whatever with me, play the game with me instead of being with your child doing this and that. So if I'm sitting there holding that against you, you have to go look in the mirror, bro. Yeah, because at the same time, when you have a kid, you want that same grace. And like they go back to treat people how you want to be treated. Like you have to really look at that. You know what I'm saying? My man's getting married, regardless how I feel about the woman, you know, and I'm not saying, right, you know, I love her. But I'm saying like you also have to acknowledge like I might not like her, but she's making my brother, my sister the best person that they can be, how they see it. You know what I'm saying? So like if you are going to now become the roadblock, because before you wasn't, but now you might be the roadblock. So you might have to step out the way if you really care about that person, love that person, and see them be their best self. So like, that's what I tell people all the time, because we see people on social media have 50,000 reasons, this and that. To me, even going back to B.Simone, like, you guys like an old girl by saying what you saying. Like, and she being successful with it, you know what I'm saying, everything she was saying. So it's like, it's more of that. And you see people agreeing with that sentiment. So it's kind of like, that ideology is not alone type of thing. So that's what I mean. Like people clearly have not grown up or are not self-aware enough for the people they involve in their life. And like that's
it's a lot of less of they don't have emotional intelligence or the self-awareness for sure. Because and I always try to not say this anymore about the common sense thing because it's not like you said, there's majority of people that do think that should be still going, you know, but it is what it is, y'all. Yes. I feel like manage your friendships with self-awareness, manage your friendships with, like you said, grace, manage your friendships with good ideologies, and link with people that are like-minded. I feel like that's super important to get you, you know.
Yeah, you need somebody that's like where you at, and then you need somebody that's like ahead of you. Yeah. Too. I was gonna say something.
No, we took it.
No, it was just on my mind too. Oh, learn where to place your friends, because it's not always a fallout. It's not always I got to get rid of you. It's I have to stop talking to you. Another thing that women go through. I have to stop talking to you so much. Well, no, it's both. So much about my relationship. You could be sabotaging or even praying on a spiritual level, praying against my downfall. On my downfall. So learn where to place certain friends, like. The friends you've been with your whole life, you told them about everything. Sometimes you just have to shut up.
Yeah, back to what you said earlier.
And learn who has your best interest at heart. And that's a hard thing to navigate to. Yeah.
We're going to move right along to our next topic, which still kind of touches on a little bit of this. But first things first, well, I already know your answer, though, because you already said it. But do you want kids? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes, I want 3 or 4.
I'm still on the fence. But I would say right now in this moment, yes, I do. Okay. But to add a little bit to that, is it selfish to have kids knowing that you cannot afford them? And we're just speaking on the financial aspect of it because we know it's other things
Well,
that
can
go
I
into
ask another question first?
Go ahead.
Why do you want kids, Jalen?
How much time we got? But no, like, I mean, the net of it is like legacy, to be honest with you. And for me, and fuck it, I feel like you miss a part of life not being a parent.
Mhm.
You know, however that may look, I personally just think it's through, you know, the form of reproducing just organically and how it is. I just think it's an aspect of parenthood that is just the next phase of life. It's a lot of people who I've looked up to, studied and stuff like that. That's like, bro, I didn't really become either a man, a woman, or this person or myself until I had kids.
Mhm.
And like, it's dudes who did the same thing as me, worse stuff than me or whatever. And it's like, they felt like they had that true awakening at that point. And like I tell people when I meditate, when I pray a lot of time, you know, I joke, but I'm dead ass. Like people think I'm praying to God. I be praying to my kids. Like my kids guide me to the man I need to be because it let me know the type of father I need to be to them. So like I tell people, I hear my daughter's voice. I know my daughter's name. I know my son's name. You know what I'm saying? Already. Like me and my girl talk about the whole nines and I talk to them. And like when I'm doing this, I always say all the time, I know my daughter coming from because she talked to me the most. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm doing something wrong, she's not speaking to me. You know what I'm saying? And that's what kind of made me course correct a lot of times. And it's been like that since I was like 20 years old.
That's interesting.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what it is for me. It's a spiritual connection. It's a legacy type of aspect. It's a passing on what I did. It's a testament to the life that I lived because when you think about when you die, like people I say that dash, the people gonna speak about you the most is your kids and your wife and your mom or who, you know, not your mom, but hopefully, but you get what I'm saying? Like, that's what's important to me. So being not only the example now, but when they are born and growing into who I become to be, like, yeah, I want to be a superhero to my kids. I want them to look up to me and get lessons and know that I can protect them and stuff. Like, yeah, all of that stuff. So
What about you, Deontay?
Like I said earlier, I'm a little still on the fence about it, but in this moment, I still do want kids. But naturally, I feel like just to not use what's already been said, I feel like I look at my situation through experience. So my parents weren't married. Well, not my bad. I'm sorry, saying that all wrong. They were married just for a short period of time. Sorry, y'all.
You threw that right on your jacket.
But yeah, they was married for a short period of time. So the marriage that I did like idolize as a kid was my grandparents' marriage, and I seen what they basically were as parents when they, you know, took care of me and my sister. So I wanted to idolize like my grandfather as an example. Like he was an excellent provider, someone who was just all about emotional intelligence, all about pushing you to be your best self and not pushing you to do things that they felt that you needed to do. And I feel like that's another thing as a parent that I feel is important. I would love to have kids to be able to maximize their true potential of who they are and going based off of that, because I feel like my mom for sure did that with me. Definitely taught me at a young age like I can be anything, and I felt that. And I literally had this conversation yesterday at the barbershop, and the barber that I go to, she's a female, she's God-fearing. Everybody in there is like super God-fearing, and it was talking about how our generation is so different than previous generations when it comes to how we raise kids and stuff like that. And just sitting there with like older men that reached that pinnacle of success and they had like 6 kids and, you know, they got these $1 million businesses and art, you know, this one guy's an architect and me and him were having a discussion about it. It just made me realize like this world is really crazy as hell. And to not have somebody to be able to help navigate it for you is crazy. So I would love to be that for my kids, authentically, genuinely. So that's the reason why I, you know, want kids. It's a time cut for me though. If I get to a certain age, it's over.
Okay.
But what about you, Maegan?
For lineage, legacy, of course, and motherhood. I feel like God has really chosen women for a specific reason to bring people into this world too. So just to be used as a vessel of God in that way to not only birth them but raise them up, because the Bible says raise the children up in a way that they should go. To have that honor of being a woman that can do that, you know. So really, different.
Okay.
You know. So the original question was, is it selfish to want kids knowing you can't afford them?
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's not selfish, it's irresponsible.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's truly irresponsible because there are women that maybe get pregnant and they want to get pregnant, but they don't want the kid. You know what I'm saying? But they don't believe in abortion. So is that selfish of her to keep the baby, or is it irresponsible? You know what I'm saying? Because you can get deep like that. Now knowing you can't afford it and then continuously having kids and kids and kids not doing anything to prevent it. Again, I feel like it's more irresponsible because, like, do you want these kids at this point? Why are you having kids? I feel like, in my mind, when I heard the question is, what's the reason she's having a kid? You having it to keep a man? You know what I'm saying? Is it selfish for you to bring a kid in the world because you want to keep this man around?
Right.
So I think it's a little thin line between selfishness and irresponsible.
Okay.
Naturally, I got a bias because of the field that I work in, but
which is actually good. That's a good point too.
I do agree with Megan. I don't think that it's necessarily selfish. I think even when it comes to finances, which is the bigger point, people don't understand like the finances, and it's really just the people who have them early or unexpectedly. I think a lot of people who plan to have kids, like financially, you run into stuff, and I think that's the other point. I think the finances are not in exact child care and child is in fact like remember you got your car note, you know, like it's other factors. You know, somebody might lose a job, get less out, like whatever your situation is, and that's to me more of the financial thing because they already said like statistically most Americans are like I think a $1,500 expense away from being in financial straits. So it's like that's one car repair they need to be. That's one unexpected hospital bill. Like it's very quick things that can really set you down the line. Like most people are living check to check. So if your check is $1,700, like hypothetically, or $2,000, whatever, and the expense that you gotta pay now is $2,500, it's like, well, you just kind of lost a whole check. Like most people can't afford to lose a whole check, and like that's kind of the thing. So no, it's not inherently selfish. Yes, it's irresponsible, but like Megan said, it's like the why. You know, like to her original point, where she was saying, well, she didn't want to get divorced. What was the options? Is like now to me, it do get selfish because it is 50,000 other options that you can do if you don't want this child and to place this child somewhere else outside of your care. But most people don't want to do that because then it becomes my baby, I'ma figure it out. My mama said, my daddy said, then you are being selfish. Like it's just inherently because now you choosing it for these other inherent reasons. You know what I'm saying? But I'm also somebody, just to be personal, I never could like adopt or foster my kid because I always tell people my mind every single day I would worry about X, Y, and Z, or whatever. So I told you, I was like, I paid the fee. You know what I'm saying? I paid the fee. So it's like, do I got to answer for it however later on? Like, yeah, but I made my decision is what I'm getting.
Right.
You know, we made our decision. But no, fuck that. I'm not taking that shit on my And he said, you only killing the guy. But no, like all bullshit aside, like that's how I feel though. Like just being when you take away the accountability, then it kind of becomes selfish. That's how I think it is.
No, I agree with both of y'all. I definitely agree. I think it is irresponsible to have kids if you but afford to me is always like
it's an asterisk next to it.
Because at the end of the day it's like what amount of money, I mean realistically nobody's gonna be a billionaire. It's a small percentage of that. And like you said, most people are check to check. So if we're looking at those people specifically or millennials in general, we know not all of us have it like that, you know, at this age or this age range. I think
how much y'all lying?
Yeah, or fronting, you know, that's how it is. But I think it is irresponsible, and I think it eventually turns into selfishness, like both of y'all said, based off of the why. But I don't know. I just be feeling like having kids is super expensive, especially having friends that have kids now and seeing them interact with like all these bills. And then on top of that, you don't even know what type of child you're bringing into the world, in a sense.
Yeah.
Like, you can have medical issues
Yeah.
right off the jump,
Special needs.
you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So that's not accounted for, and you're not gonna know.
And that's what I was saying.
You
Like,
know.
there's certain stuff you can't. That's why I can't say that you're not financially
Yeah.
responsible, because you could have all your ducks in a
row.
row, and then boom,
Little
so,
Bobby get, you know,
Yeah.
disabled.
or you might be like
I ain't gonna
some
say nobody.
but even like some of they premature.
Yeah.
Can really just change things, because
Exactly.
now your medical bills is this and that.
The baby in the hospital longer.
People insurance is like, insurance companies are assholes, so they be
Yes.
like this, that, and the third. So it's hard to just finances is like the problem.
Yeah.
I do think a lot of people try and keep up with the Joneses though with
Yes.
their babies. So
Especially
I think that's
with
another
these
thing.
brands.
Yeah, like that'd be a lot of what it
Yeah.
is. And then I think going back to the point I really love that you made was the grandparent point or whatever, which is one of my bigger passions about also being a father. That eventually I also get the grace of becoming a grandfather. And
y'all really think far ahead with it.
oh no, like part of my dating is, hey, are you trying to be grandma and grandpa? Because that's what I'm trying to. No, like not.
That wisdom,
I know you're serious,
is
though.
unmatched.
But
Yeah.
it's also not. I'm not saying this in the first month. Like we're dating when I'm talking. Like we're
Yeah.
actually together and exclusive. But it's like I'm that invested that far ahead that like like our second home is gonna be. And so they think like most people like not thinking like our second home. Like I'm not. No, I'm not doing that. I'm like for 50 years in this motherfucker. Nah, I'm not doing.
Thank you.
But that's my thing. Like it get to a point. Like nah. And so, but when you communicate in that, it's easier to have that partner. Y'all on the same page, and I think you're more accepting of them growing. Like I tell my girl all the time, like people think, or like if I was describe certain stuff that we both do, they I wouldn't do that. I couldn't. It's like, why? Like she can't make a mistake with me. Like how she gonna call me her safe space, but she can't make a mistake?
Yeah. I mean, we're human. We're not gonna be.
And the biggest part for me, like I tell everybody all the time, how's your love unconditional when you could put conditions on your partner?
Very true.
Every step of the way, you telling them if they do this, you will leave them. If they do that, you will leave them. They do this, you will leave them. Hey. You go ahead and make that mistake, but I still love you. You still beautiful. You still this. We about to hit this right here. Hey, I'll do the diet with you. This, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people not willing to do that. It's like, oh, if you do this, I'm out. I just want to let you know. Like, motherfucker, I heard you. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, well, what you gonna do to stay? What we doing to be here for each other? Because it's like, I tell people, it's beautiful people all around the world. It's people like if that's what you're looking for, bro, you're gonna keep walking. Like everywhere. Like if you that surface level, bro, but. Like I tell people, my girl, I appreciate her for this, that, and the third. And I said it in the previous pod. It was a point in certain places in life that I was where I had these great women in my life that I could approach, could have dated. And I'm like, I can't do that because of where I'm at right now. That's gonna mess up where she at. She in this program, she about to go off and become a doctor. I could, and she would have been down with me. But like, what would her life have been like then? And so you got to make them honest decisions with yourself.
No, that's true.
I missed out on some great opportunities just because I was like this, that, and the third. But God blessed me on the wraparound. Look where I'm at now. It's like,
yeah, I'm very future driven, so that's the reason why I think that far ahead. Sometimes it does become a hindrance because you being, so caught up being in the future that you're not living in the moment. So that's something that I try to like make sure that I'm doing. But any closing thoughts on that? Don't be irresponsible, y'all.
Yeah, don't be irresponsible. You know what I'm saying? If you're just not ready, taking the finances out of it, if you're not ready, do everything that you can to prevent it. Because there are things to prevent pregnancy and children.
Remember, it was a lot of yeses that went into that baby. That'd be my point. It was a lot of yeses that went into that baby. It's a lot of yeses.
All right, y'all. We're going to move into our new segment that we're adding. We're going to play a game. So each of us are gonna pull a card. We're just gonna do like basically kind of like a 3-round thing. And yeah, if we did, we're gonna drink.
We should have poured the shots first.
It's okay. Pass the beatbox. Shout out to Shaq. Even though this ain't sponsored, but we drinking on some Shaq.
Oh, okay.
I like the young people. They were talking about the show. Talking about the beatbox. Sponsor the show. They play the card game.
What flavor is this?
This is watermelon lemonade.
Oh, how?
Don't say nothing. I already know.
How progressive.
I know. Don't say nothing. Don't say shit.
You got a kiwi strawberry somewhere.
Actually, let me pour some more.
I was about to say, yours looking a little skimpy compared to ours.
It was the transparency of the glass. Who want to go first?
I go first.
Oh, okay. I was about to grab first.
You can still grab one.
Who gives the best advice?
Don't be dumb.
Me. What are we talking about? It's me. Can you vote for yourself?
I guess. Yeah, I guess you can do that.
I just feel like I give the best advice.
Okay, you mean like we doing this like throughout the group?
Yeah.
All three of us. What we think?
I mean, I feel like we all give solid advice.
I was about to say the same
The
thing.
best
Yeah.
overall.
Yeah.
I'm voting for me.
See?
All right, how about this round? We're gonna drink because we all think it's us, so we can all take a shot on that. Let's go ahead,
I
y'all.
feel like this is a double.
Cheers.
Really a triple. I'm drinking this. I'm gonna take a shot.
It's summer.
And
Not bad though. You don't really taste the liquor like that.
I'll sneak up on you.
I'm gonna pour another one for us.
that will, because it's like juice.
I used to drink these at work.
Not that
On
bad.
camera, it's crazy.
No, they alright. Not my current job.
Oh.
No, I don't do none of that stuff in my current job.
I don't have no bartender, y'all, so y'all are a bartender. Y'all pouring them. I already pulled my card, so let me see. Who will be the least willing to kiss the person to their right?
Me.
Me. We pulling a different card, y'all. Okay.
I was like, Maegan gotta go.
We gonna do it. Who spends the most time thinking about their ex? Who do you think?
Maegan.
Whew, that's definitely wrong.
I'm talking shit. Yeah, you're right. Actually, I was just talking about it here. You're right. I was sorry. That was real. I was just being an accent.
It's definitely you.
You.
It's you.
What ex?
I don't know. Pick one.
The ex person you dated, one of your ex relationships,
Yeah.
I definitely gives no cares.
I don't care either, to be honest.
But
and y'all
thinking
playing,
though-
though. Y'all really playing.
We not playing. I mean, you think about he in a relationship, I'm in a relationship.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm thinking about my ex.
It said the most.
Most likely.
It don't mean it's a lot. It's just the most likely.
They
That's
tripping,
it.
but I'm a drink though.
That's it. It's not, we ain't said all day.
Right.
Most likely.
Y'all against me. Y'all just trying to get me to drink. Fuck y'all.
No, I mean, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last card. Shit.
Whose inbox and calendar is color coded?
I might have to drink again.
I don't know about inbox. My calendar is.
Oh, so we both drinking?
Damn.
Yeah, because mine is color coded. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
Yours not?
No, it ain't color coded. It got a lot of shit in it.
Well, wait.
It ain't color coded. Sorry.
Well, I mean, how you distinct? You just look at it. Don't matter. You just look at your day.
Yeah, look at my day.
Oh,
Cheers.
oh, look at you.
Cheers to
Look
color
at my
codedness.
day.
Cheers to organization.
Mhm.
Salud. Okay.
You cracking up every episode.
I do.
And nothing.
No, I'll be lucky. In my mind, I'll be saying some shit, but I'll be like, should it be said on camera? I don't think so. All right, we're going to move into another new segment, guys. It's called Get Hip. So this is where we, just want to get y'all hip to things that we've been watching, products and services, whatever. So anybody can jump out.
So, me and my boo, we went on a double date with my brother and his girlfriend. And we went to, everybody know about Putting the Edge, but Meat Moots is a new restaurant. It's halal. And it's smoked meat. But they heat it up in front of you, with a flamethrower and everything. They play the music, turn the lights down low. It's a whole show. It's like table style dining, so they bring all the sides out for everybody. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
For everybody, unlimited sauces to go with the meats and the sides. Again, it is Mediterranean halal, so the sides are rice, mixed pickled veggies.
You probably get a fattoush.
Yeah, they have fattoush salads. I honestly rated the food flavor wise. We had the brisket. My brother and his girlfriend had the beef rib. We all rated it about like 7.5 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
So that was my get hip. If you're into like smoked meats, halal style, I know beef ribs are expensive and everybody does not have them if you don't eat pork like myself.
Yeah.
So that's a good place to go for some beef ribs.
Okay. I have to, I guess, shout out this next Netflix series that I'm binge watching that unfortunately is canceled now. But it's called Dead Boy Detective on Netflix. It's really been very interesting. I just like the plot and everything. It's like two dead boys. They're solving supernatural mysteries, like basically ghost mysteries.
Oh, okay.
But it ties into like other things too.
Mm-hmm.
But they basically are trying to help ghosts that are on the earthly plane to transcend, solving their murders and stuff like that. So check that out if y'all interested in it. It was really good, even though again it's canceled now, but it's only one season. I hate when Netflix do that. So irritating.
For me, I'm sorry, I'm not on my phone. I was looking it up. Two things. I wanted to shout out Nisha and Shay. She just dropped her album, Redirection.
He just got me hip to that too.
Yeah, so like I always try and keep a Detroit music scene, so I was happy to shout out somebody that's from the city. I really like her music. I think she's super, super dope. And the person who mixed it, I don't want to just give him a blanket shout out, but I know him and he's a super dope audio engineer. So I just wanted to give a shout out to that as well.
Shout out.
Also, I've been watching documentaries, as I was saying in previous episodes. So,
the druggies.
Yeah, the druggies. Yeah. This one I got a good one for the folks. I've been watching Poop Cruise. Poop Cruise
I was going to start that one.
Yeah, Poop Cruise is great. I already finished it, so probably can talk about another date. But it was super interesting. I've been on cruise a lot in my life, so to kind of think about if I was in that situation.
It was crazy shit.
I mean, it's called Poop Cruise, bro. So
basically, the cruise ship that stopped. I don't know which cruise line it was, but it stopped. The whole thing shut down. Like it ran out of gas. You couldn't like flush the toilet or anything. So I had to poop in the biohazard bags, and then the urine started backing up. And yeah, they were getting into fights at the bar.
Fuck no.
Yep.
Yeah.
All that type of stuff. And
couldn't be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they got nervous to get it. It was a lot. But
I'm gonna check that out though.
That's one to check out. Of course, I got a bunch of documentary recommendations, stuff I've been watching, and check out Love Island. Y'all haven't.
Where are you watching it at? Because I've been seeing everybody talking about it.
We're going to talk about this off camera because I wanted to mention that too.
Yeah. So
I don't want to say it.
Oh, wait. Where are y'all watching it at? Okay.
But if... I want to save this, but it's okay. But they have an actual show that they're showing it downtown.
Yeah.
At Candelier.
Candelier.
And Love and Tequila.
Oh, Love and Tequila now?
Oh.
Yeah. Everybody picking us up. You just outside, be outside.
Shout out to Olandria.
Oh, y'all not gonna like me then. But anyway.
Who you like, Hoodoo?
Trust me, bro. No, it's not Hoodoo.
It's not Hoodoo? Okay. Yeah.
No.
We're going to get into it. We can spend some time on this.
Yeah, I'm not.
But we're going to move into If I Knew Then What I Know Now. You said you had a list of words?
Yeah, I got a word. Family.
Oh, okay. We haven't did that.
Yeah, I thought family
goes into the topic too.
It does.
If I knew then what I know now about family... Somebody else go first. This is kind of hard for me.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, for me, it's then I didn't value family as much because of the proximity and frequency I interacted with family growing up. So as a kid, it was always like my cousins around this and that. So you just think that this is life. And as you get older, you don't realize, going back to your original point, pouring in. That's why I use the cousins as a reference. Like pouring into even a relationship, because they're still people. Because we think that we're family, so we're inclined to your presence. We're privileged to just your insight and everything because we're related through blood, and everybody always say like blood don't make you family. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So it's one of them things where you do have to invest, and like I'm learning now, especially through some of the hardships that we talk about with me off camera, how important that family is, but more importantly, like the roles that kind of evolve as you get older.
Exactly.
You know, I'm starting to realize like where my role is as far as connecting families and my family, my family, my mother family together and making sure that we good and, you know, being that bridge for different things, you know, how important that is. And those family members that go, you like, oh, that's what Uncle John was, or Uncle June, or this person was. Like, it wasn't just the dude that was there for the games. He was really the people, the person that
Right.
kept everybody around. So like my childhood was actually a blessing because of her efforts, his efforts, and the third. So
Right.
like now I have to be that for the next generation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, and I can pick you back off that too.
Yeah.
If I knew then what I don't know about family, I would have connected more. You know what I'm saying? Really sat down and got out my shell and really talked to my loved ones that have passed on, you know, to really get their mindset. Because like with my parents being older now, like I sit and I talk to my dad and things like about certain situations, but you know, things that he have said in the past or like about, I can't say the situation on camera, but about a certain situation or something, and then like how he's being more open about it now.
Right.
I just wish I had that with my grandparents to get more insight to like their life story and what made them make the choices they made to be the adult, to be the father, the mother, the grandmother, the grandfather that they were.
Got you.
Yeah.
That's good. I would say, if I knew then what I know now about family, to learn how to navigate resentment in families, seeing how you.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's really fucking good.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Because I feel like, I'll speak personally. So certain situations have happened in my family that I used to hold resentment for. Especially like with like older relatives and stuff like that. Kind of piggybacking off of what y'all saying, like that they either are not supportive, they're not showing up like how they should for the younger generation, or not showing up for that generation that they were in, and how that trickles around in your family. So just, you know, really have those real conversations if you can, because the older generation, sometimes it's a little hard to pull things out of them. But if you can, definitely have those conversations to push your family forward in a more open communication.
And then, I'm sorry, just the last thing, like, to the best of your ability, let go of the past.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's hard.
Them be the biggest struggles with mending them relationships. At the end of the day, bro, if you 27 and you holding something against somebody from when you was 7, I'ma just be real with you, my dog. You gotta grow the fuck up. Like, or if you can't or if you can't deal with it, bro, move past it. Like you have to, I said it before, acknowledge it, but you also have to, once you acknowledge it, second step, make a plan. You know what I'm saying? Make a plan. I'm gonna have a third step later on, but make a plan. You know what I'm saying? And acknowledge that. Like, I swear I don't want to be quick, just, I'm gonna be quick. Me and my dad struggled with our relationship. And if I didn't choose to let go of the past, we never would have sat down and had the conversation when I was in my 20s, early on. And he tells me to this day, the relationship that we have now is way better than him and his father. And unfortunately, my grandfather passed before I got a true relationship with him.
Same.
Going back to our point of the elders and making that amends with them, and making that relationship with them, him and his dad had that unquarreled like issue. And so me and him, I told him the same thing, like, yo, like you get into that age similar to your pop, so I don't want to look back and be like, I can't tell my kids nothing because of this and that and past mistakes. Like your parents is being parents for the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people that all the time, like please don't forget that. Like tomorrow is my mama's first time dealing with me that day. Ever in her life. Yeah. She's never had a child that was my age on that day ever in her life. So I always, once I learned that lesson, I give my parents grace. I give any parent grace. Like, how do they know? Right. How am I supposed to expect anybody to know? Like my mom especially know how to raise a 17-year-old boy like me, let alone to say like in general. But then you got me on top of it.
Done it before.
Yeah, like
but even if she has done it before, like you said,
you're
like
different.
You, like you're different.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I can say the same thing, like with my brother. Even though like he's a boy, I'm a girl. It's like our personalities are different. Like
totally.
I went to prom, he didn't go to prom. Yeah. So during prom, she was like, "What do I do? I don't know what
exactly.
to do.
What do I do?"
Exactly. Yeah, that's my Auntie Tanya. Because my older cousin, Shay went to prom. She was like, okay, this is what you do. But that's her younger sister. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just the dynamic of, forgiving, learning, moving on, and giving grace. Yeah. So, yeah.
And that's a good way to close out, y'all. Yeah. Giving grace and forgiveness.
That's it. T's and P's. Yeah. Thoughts of praise. Bro.
Okay.
Thoughts of praise.
Press. All right, let's press. All right, that's another episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And comment on the segments and topics that we talked about today. You could follow me at pharaoh.mckale.
At _Maegan.
At PRD56.
And make sure you follow our Instagram page at Millennial Vision E. Until next time, y'all. Peace.